You're listening to Soul Growth with me, Jade Stoner. Here we go beyond performance and surface level success and return to your true source of power, you. When you come home to yourself, when you allow your soul to lead, you access a depth of peace, safety and self-trust that success alone was never meant to fulfill, without losing your edge, ambition or vision. You get to live a life that feels as eternally rich as it looks outwardly impressive, and it begins within you. Hello and welcome back to Soul Growth. So in today's episode, I'm getting into what do you do when life just feels like it's too much, when things just feel like they're too much, you can't handle it, and you just want to throw the fucking towel in and stick two fingers up to life and say, fuck this shit, I'm going to Narnia. Yeah, you can tell that I've been there a few times, right? When life is lifing, your natural tendency is probably to shut down and contract. And what I want to share with you is that everything on your journey of soul growth is for a reason. When things feel like too much for you, it's not life testing you. It's not the universe telling you that something's not meant for you, that this isn't the right way and to go in another direction or stop or give up. It's an invitation for you to grow and to open up. It's an opportunity for you to expand and to become somebody who is able to hold the things that you're calling into your life. This is something that a lot of manifestation teachings, particularly back in the days, didn't really share about. When the law of attraction became popular, it was just something that was sold as you decide what you want, you declare it to the universe, and then it happens. And what many of us have found is that's not the whole truth, right? And so when we come up against challenges, we're wondering, like, what the hell's going on? Because this isn't what this person on Instagram told me it would be like. They just told me that I could have everything that I want and it would just all appear, right? You real lifing your desires is a spiritual activation. And again, it's your opportunity to open up, to expand. So what I was saying before was that what we're often not told is that often the things that we want to call into our lives can't come into our lives because there isn't the space. We don't have the capacity. And so we have to expand our capacity and open up and create the space to be able to call these things in. And that is the journey of soul growth. Soul growth is about you healing and becoming the person who is able to hold all of your desires. That's the journey to real life in your soul's desires, right? So when things get too much, when it feels like a lot, it's your opportunity to open up, to grow, to expand. It's your opportunity to look at what is it triggering for you, what is it activating for you, and that is your clue as to what you need to heal, what you need to clean up, and how and where you need to create the space in your life to welcome in the things that you want. It's not an opportunity to give up. There is also something that I have seen this year, which is there is a space between declaring your desire and welcoming in your desire. And it's like being in a birthing canal. And in that birthing canal, it's very fucking uncomfortable. And lots of people get into the birthing canal of their desires. And because it's uncomfortable, because it can be painful, because it can make you start questioning things and looking at things differently, a lot of people get out of it. Now, if you liken this to a real life birth, imagine a baby is in the birthing canal and the mother just stops trying to give birth. What happens? The baby's not coming out, right? And okay, in real life, in that situation, there are other ways of getting the baby out. But in terms of your desires, there is no other way of getting the desire out. It is you push it out or it doesn't come out. So when you're in that birthing canal of your desire, if you give up, you cannot birth that desire. You cannot real life that desire. Another way to look at it is, in that birthing canal, you are moving through and from one frequency, one vibration to the next. You're moving from the vibration and the frequency where you don't yet have your desire to the one where you are. And who you are and who you've been is not a match for who you're becoming and where you're going. So it does feel uncomfortable. You're shifting timelines. And so it's about learning to sit in that discomfort and allow the pressure to expand you so that you can bring in your desires. When you're in that space, when you're uncomfortable, when life feels hard and you tell yourself you can't handle it, you're pushing your manifestations and your desires away. You're telling the universe and you're signaling to yourself that you can't handle this. So that in turn then tells the universe and yourself that you won't be able to handle more. You won't be able to handle your next level. In a book called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, he shares the story of a parent taking their child to the ice cream store, and the child orders a single scoop of ice cream on a cone. Child's happy, leaves the shop, living their best life, walking down the street, and they drop that one scoop of ice cream. They start crying. Parents like, come on, let's go back to the shop. Let's get some more ice cream. When they go back into the shop, the child notices that you can actually get a triple scoop ice cream. So instead of just one scoop of ice cream, you can have 3. And the child wants this. And then the question is posed. If your child couldn't handle the 1, why would you set them up to fail with the 3? It's just kind of mean, right? And this is what happens with our desires. When we tell the universe we can't handle what we've got, 1 scoop of ice cream, like, why the hell would the universe, why the hell would our higher selves send us more when we are declaring that we can't even handle what we've got? We have to make it make sense, right? So you have to build your capacity to be able to hold the more that you're calling into your life, so that you don't sabotage your success when it happens. That's something else we do, right? When you do manage to get a desire, the thing that you want in your life, and you're not quite ready for it, if you're not aware enough to recognize your patterns when they come up and therefore do the work to heal them, what you'll end up doing is those patterns will come up and they will sabotage the thing that you want. We see this with a lot of celebrities. They achieve fast success, or what appears to be fast success anyway. And they go from being relatively unknown, not having a lot of money, to suddenly having a hell of a lot of money and being very well known. And they don't know how to handle it. They can't handle it. They don't have the capacity for it. So what we've often seen is that that celebrity then ends up having a mental, emotional breakdown. We see them going from being a multimillionaire to declaring bankruptcy. This is another example of not being able to handle what you have. They haven't built the capacity to be able to hold that. They don't have the emotional and spiritual intelligence to hold it. They're not given the tools to navigate it. Unfortunately, they're often seen as cash cows, and the goal is just to make them sell more records, make more movies, play more sports games, like do whatever. A lot of attention given to their talent and no attention given to their spiritual and emotional and mental capacities. So here's the thing. You can have it all in life, but you need to create the space to be able to hold it all. And you do this through expanding and healing. And that healing includes the stories that you tell yourself that it's not possible for you. It is. You wouldn't have the desire to have the thing otherwise. So the next time you feel like things are too much, remember that it's an opportunity for you to expand your capacity to grow and become the person who can mentally and energetically and spiritually hold all of the good things that you're calling into your life. If you've been used to things not working out for you in the past, or you get what you want, but then there's a part of you that's always waiting for the other shoe to drop, then understand that this time between you not having what you want and getting what you want, that's your preparation time. Use it to recognize the limiting thoughts and the stories and the beliefs that are coming up and challenge them. Notice the parts of you that need to be healed and heal them. This is how you become a match for your desires. When you're feeling like things are too much, as I started out by sharing, often the natural tendency is to contract and shut down. This is your reminder to open and expand. So the next time when you're feeling like things are too much, remember that this is your opportunity to expand and to grow. And how do you do that? Breathe. Literally breathe. I shared with you in the last episode the power of breath. It's simple, but it's profound. And when you breathe into your body, it helps it to expand. It signals to your nervous system, to your subconscious, that it's safe to expand. In 2023, I was growing through different periods and I noticed my tendency to shut down and contract. And this is when I learned all of this, and I could see, looking back over the years, that every time that I got to an opportunity to move into my next level, because I wasn't aware of all of this stuff, I would shut down, I would contract. And if you keep shutting down and contracting, how can you move to the next level? You can't, right? So then I found myself in this vicious cycle, and I could see that I'd been holding myself back in this way. And then I heard a voice inside of me say, breathe. Literally breathe. Breathe through and down into the root area of your body. The area around your hips, your lower back, your abdomen area. Literally breathe in there. And I could see, as I was breathing in, I could see that space expanding, opening up my capacity to receive. I was guided to go out for long walks. So I'd go out for walks in nature for hours. And rather than letting the tension and the stress and the discomfort, rather than letting all of that contract me and cause me to shut down and contract, I would breathe and open up and expand. Something else that I learned is that when we shut down and contract, we usually shut off our hearts. And your heart is so, so powerful. In fact, it's 5,000 times more powerful than your mind. And so it's important to keep this open. If you witness the next time that you feel like everything's too much, you'll probably notice yourself not just shut down, but also your heart contracts. And when your heart contracts, that also blocks you being able to call into your life the things that you desire. Your heart is one of the portals of the body. And it's very, very powerful. So breathe into your heart. Allow that space to open. Imagine it expanding and staying open. And remind yourself that you're a lot more powerful than you're giving yourself credit for. And that these times of friction are the times when you're in that birthing canal of desire, of moving from one vibration, one experience of life to the next. And the only thing in the way of that is yourself. Remind yourself that you can handle all of it. I was doing a meditation earlier this year where we connected with our spirit teams, and one of my guides came through, and that was the message that was given to me. I was told you can handle all of it. And so that's become one of my affirmations, one of my mantras, one of the things that I tell myself to remind myself of the power that I have. That I'm not given anything that I can't handle. That everything that comes my way, however I perceive that, whether that's to be empowering or disempowering, good or bad, it's all happening for me. And to trust that, I remind myself I can handle all of it. So you can borrow that mantra or you can create your own, but just have something that you can focus on in those moments where you can feel yourself being tested and when things feel like they're too much. And remind yourself to breathe and stay open and to keep your heart open. This is how you grow. This is how you become the person who is a match for the things that you're calling into your life. Life is always going to life. And the difference between you navigating through it in an empowering, I can handle all of it way, or a disempowering, oh my God, this is awful, I can't handle this way, is you. You have so much power and so much potential inside of you, and it's not an accident that you're here listening to this today. It's not an accident that I've gone through the experiences and learnt the lessons at the depth that I have and embodied the lessons to be able to share with you. Not everything in life you're meant to experience for yourself. Sometimes you get to learn through other people's experiences, and this is one of those. Learning to breathe and allow myself to open and expand through times when it feels like things are way too much has been one of the single most powerful things of my whole entire soul growth journey so far. And seeing the shifts and changes that have come from my life because of that, it feels like magic, but I know it's not. It's alchemy. Alchemizing what feels shit and what feels like should have you moving in the opposite direction, and alchemizing that into something that is empowering and helping to move you forward. That's the magic. And you have the power to do this too. Your desires are in you and part of you for a reason, and I'm getting into that in a lot more depth in the next episode. But for now, remember that they have been given to you for a reason, and you have what it takes to be able to make them happen. And part of that is becoming a match for those desires, becoming the person who can handle it. And those pressure points in life that you experience are your portals, are your invitations to become that match. So that is all for today's episode. I will see you soon. Until then, big love. Mwah. Thank you for joining me on Soul Growth. There's something in this episode that was meant for you to hear. Whatever it activated within you, trust it, act on it. And remember, it's all soul growth.